St. Francis lived in Italy in the 12th and 13th centuries. Born into great wealth, he dreamed of becoming a knight in shining armor. But life took one of those turns. While serving as a young soldier, Francis was captured, imprisoned, and when he returned home, he was changed. After his release, he encountered a leper, and instead of turning away, as was the custom, Francis saw the leper, really saw the leper, and embraced him. Francis had seen something holy, something Christ-like in that leper. He felt called to relinquish his wealth and to move to a life of service. He sought to create something new from the old faith and teachings of Jesus. He believed that God wanted to make a fool of him. So there Francis was, worshiping with the animals, living with the outcasts, dancing in creation. The parable of the workers in the vineyard is a foolish story. You know the story. The vineyard owner hired some day laborers to work. Then he noticed others still unemployed at noontime, so he invited them to come to work. And then in the afternoon he went out and saw others still idle, and he invited them to come and work. And just as the day was ending, he saw a few others and invited them to work. At the end of the day, he gave these workers their wages, and each worker got a full day's wages. You can imagine that the people who had worked all day were distressed by this. But the landowner's focus was not solely on the number of people needed to pick the grapes, but instead on the number of people who needed work. The number of people who needed the dignity of work. And then at the end of the day, he paid everyone the same amount of money, regardless of the number of hours they worked. Oh, this story goes against our grain. To find that someone who worked just a few hours got paid the same amount as the one who worked all day. And yet those who were hired last spent the day unsure of how they would feed themselves, while those who worked all day knew they would be paid. We tend to be slower to rise up against the unfairness that those who do essential lower wage jobs, direct care workers, supermarket workers, cleaning folks, childcare workers, are often paid poorly. We tend to be slower to rise up when unemployment falls on the backs and souls of individuals and their families. Jesus reminds us that God's love is for all the people, and God's economy rewards all the people. St. Francis was foolish, giving up wealth, hanging out with the outcasts, praying with the animals, watching the moon rise. God invites us to be a little more foolish, a little more playful, to be foolish enough to pay people based on need, to pay more to support local businesses in our communities, to take time for prayer or contemplation, to watch the moon rise or the sunset, to rest in God and let go of the need to accomplish more, earn more, to frolic with the animals to celebrate creation. So this week, go forth and do something a little foolish. Tip generously, waste time, smell the flowers, pray, sit in silence, laugh, dance, embrace a leper, enjoy life. Amen.